That's a fact.
Yeah. I'm trying to see, man. I'm trying to see I'm trying to see the whole pattern change. You dig what I'm saying? I'm trying to see they plan backfire on them. You feel me?
Yeah.
Here it is. What they doing is they manipulating the language of the law in the state, right? What they doing is they bullying the state for federal beds to be filled. You feel me?
Wow.
And, yeah, that's what they doing. So it's just like the gun cases they did back in the day, right?
Facts.
You got a felony. They snatch you up. They go fair, but they got state clauses for it. You could have did a state bid for it. But due to the fact that, they already washed the mob up, you get what I'm saying? Their main aim right now is on the youth and the community that we grew up in, you feel me? So this is what they doing. All right. They'll snatch up probably 15 little youngsters, right?
Yeah.
They'll snatch them up, right? Max them out. I'm talking about put the pressures on them, put all kind of charges on these dudes, right? And then wait for 2-3 out of them to break.
Damn.
Now when 2-3 of them break, what they gonna do is they gonna create other cases. So you gonna get one dude that get 4 niggas gavelled up, then another dude gets 7 niggas gavelled up on another indictment, and the other dude gets 2-3 niggas gavelled up on that indictment.
Wow.
So now, out of those indictments, you gonna have 4-5 motherfuckers that break, that open up more indictments. Now look, out of these indictments, the dudes that do stand up, they'll max them out. They're giving them 10 better. So what does that do? What that does is, the youngster that's 10 years old, by the time these dudes get out, they're gonna be 20 years old.
Facts.
At least 75% of them is gonna be incarcerated already because they had no guidance from the generation before. You know what I'm saying? When dudes is in these third spots, you can't even call home and talk about what's going on. You feel me? Because all calls is monitored.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Mail too?
You can't even talk to the youngsters and let them know what they got coming. And then when you tell them what they got coming and what's going on and how they attacking, these little young dudes is out there like, man, you motherfuckers just spook. He's scared. He's shook.
Yeah.
You feel me? So what happens is the little dudes grow up without no big homies. They don't learn the laws that we learned as youngsters when we had big homies before the feds was attacking our communities. You get what I'm saying? When they was on the mob and all these other, organizations and enterprises. They call them enterprises. You know what I'm saying? They take the gang and call it enterprise. Saying that to say, they grew up without guidance. They feel like, I'm 17 years old. I'm an OG. Nobody can't tell me nothing. You feel me?
Yeah.
They run into a wall. When they run into a wall, they get snatched up. Now, you already know a lot of these dudes nowadays ain't built.
That's a fact.
These dudes is getting caught up. They running around, swinging that pistol. They busting on shit. And when they get snatched up, these motherfucking feds, another strategy they're using, because it's a big plan, man. It's almost like a Willie Lynch thing. You dig what I'm saying? Modern day Willie Lynch.
Talk to the people.
What they do is, what they do is they dangle your freedom over your head. Listen, man, if you can bring in like 2-3 motherfuckers will have some information on this case that we got going on.
Yeah.
We'll let you sign this cooperation agreement. You cop out to 5,000 charges, right? You cop out. So now when you cop out to these 5,000 charges, these rap motherfuckers, when they cop out, they already pled guilty to all these charges. You feel me? So now if they try to back over and say, man, you know what? Man, I don't want to tell, man. I changed my mind. Now they finna get maxed out for all them charges that they copped out to. You feel me? So they trapped in.
That's crazy.
Trapped in. So now it's like they bring in another generation. Now the generation under them have no guidance, and they make the same mistakes. You get what I'm saying? All I'm trying to do is I'm trying to lace the youngsters out there and let them know, man, listen, man. Learn the law.
That's right.
You can get a little handbook that gives you game on whatever you're doing and the penalties behind it. You feel me? Back in the days, motherfuckers was walking around with a life sentence and didn't even know it. Motherfucker got 62 grams of hard. They got a pistol over here. You understand what I'm saying?
Facts.
We probably on federal ground somewhere because a lot of our parks are close to schools, and you know that's a federal crime within itself. You feel me?
Exactly.
When you know the law and you know what you're facing, now it's up to you to say, do I want to do this? You feel me? Do I want to do this? Do I want to walk around with these grams? Do I want to walk around with these pills? Do I want to walk around with this hard on me and this pistol and face 924C, a pistol in furtherance of another crime? The pistol that's there to guard you with these drugs. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's a 5-year mandatory minimum. And then another one, they put a 25 on you. So now you got 30 years. We didn't even charge you for the drugs yet.
God damn.
And now they got this new fentanyl shit out. That's a hell of a trap ball. That's a hell of a trap ball. If you running around with these fake bars, these fake Xanaxes, with fentanyl in there, here you give it to a motherfucker, they find the fentanyl's traced in there, now you facing a life sentence. Cause that motherfucker died. You get what I'm saying? The money was coming in good, but you done killed you a nigga. This shit is like dope.
Damn.
To the third power. You feel me?
Yeah.
Because the way that you can break it down, you can turn a couple grams into a brick.
That's a fact.
You feel me?
That's a
I just
fact.
want these little youngsters to know, man, listen, man, know what you're facing out there. You listening to this rap music, that's what's raising the young generation now.
The rap music.
Yo, y'all already know who y'all rocking with. It's your boy Rocky, that dark skin one. And I want to introduce y'all to the new segment, NY Steppas, New York Steppas. Let's clap it up one time. We are celebrating some of our fallen soldiers from New York that's either doing life behind bars, dead in the graveyard, or still stepping. You heard right here. We don't discriminate. We don't judge. If you was from NY and you was putting it down, you deserve your flowers. So this is what us here at Bite TV decided to do. We decided to not only give our people their flowers, but give them a whole episode about them. You heard? Because we got a lot of steppers from New York that ain't here no more. You heard? Especially from my generation. Growing up in the 80s, a lot of us ain't make it to these times right here. I know a lot of good people, a lot of good brothers, a lot of good sisters who held it down, who live life to that code to the fullest. And they ain't here no more. A lot ain't here no more, and a lot is doing life behind bars. So for us here, we gonna ride it out with them. You heard? We gonna thug it out. We ain't gonna forget our soldiers. We gonna actually big them up. And I see, like, you got spots like Chicago, right? These dudes is really making careers out of their experiences, you know, and just by keeping certain names alive, like let's say a Tay Savage, just from keeping his name alive, he was able to come home and get to the bag. So that's what we doing here too. You heard? We got a lot of legendary steppers in New York, man. I don't think they should be forgotten. You heard? So y'all already know the vibes. You heard? Tonight's episode, the first episode. I'm not gonna lie, we had to give it to you, me and Bizzz Low. The big cuz, man. The cuz, man. Let me tell you something, right? Me coming up under the Crips and being associated, right? And being 8-Tray Gangsta, it was like you like seeing who would you call it? Like Michael Jordan, you heard? I'm gonna tell you the time, right? So you hear his name out as a youngin, as somebody who grew up in many generations under him, and all us being Crips, 8-Tray Gangsta, all we heard was yo Bizzz, the cuz Bizzz, that's the big cuz, you heard, and I think I went like 12 years hearing his name and never seeing him, you heard. So let me tell you the first time I seen the cuz. It was 2017. And I was in MCC on a violation. I caught a state charge. And I caught a state charge, and I was still on federal probation. So the feds had to violate me, and they hit me with a drug program. But anybody know this? This is the worst thing ever. If you on federal probation, you catch a state case, they gotta ship you back and forth for court. You heard? So they can't just, you can't just go to court from Rikers Island to the feds. You can't just do that. You gotta be for you to go to court and appear for a federal case. You gotta be in the feds. So what they was doing was they was sending me to Rikers Island, housing me, you know, making me go through intake, just so I could go to court. And then the next time I got caught in the feds, they send me back to the feds, make me go through intake, and then, you know, let me go to court. That shit was a headache, you heard? But the last time I was in MCC, I remember, where was I? I was in the hallway. I think I was getting the water, They usually have juice and water inside these little buckets and shit in MCC, and I think I was getting those from the hallway, and the workers, the kitchen worker, right? I'm looking at the kitchen worker, the nigga got the bald head and all that. I'm like, yo, that's Bizzz. I'm like, yo, that's the cuz. But I'm saying that shit in my head. I'm actually, what would you call that shit? Like seeing the big homie of your set for the first time in jail. I'm like, and it's fucking my head up because I'm like, yo, this Bizzz? Yo, I noticed this nigga Bizzz. This now he got the I'm looking at the tats. I'm like, yo, nah, that's the cuz. I know that's the cuz. But I'm so in the shock stage, like, yo, this is this nigga right in front of me. I don't say nothing to the nigga, you heard? I literally don't say nothing to the nigga. Because it's still a small percentage that can't be him, you heard? And I ain't want to look stupid, especially not in jail. You can't be calling niggas out, jacking niggas, got niggas feeling good. I'm looking like a bozo. Nah, I couldn't do it like that. But that was the cuz, right? Because when I came home and I found out what we about to go through now, I'm like, I copy. That was this nigga. He was jammed up at that time. And it's fucked up to say, but You know, this is when he caught that life sentence. You heard he was on trial. I mean, he was fighting his case. He was jammed up in MCC for fighting that case, and you know they gave him life. You heard. So we go get into the Bizzz story, man. The leader, the head, the superior of the A-Trade
To the
Gangstas.
Bizzz story, even more of the Bizzz story.
No, boy.
When did you first start cripping? Because people think that you first started when you came to NYC, and that's all the way false. Give them the truth.
Being introduced to this cripping was basically when I was out in LA. You understand what I'm saying? My family is very gang orientated as far as the rolling 30s, as far as the 4 trays, the 8 trays, you know, even the down moves, the Fruitown Brims, everything low bottoms is like little Belize. From the east side to the west side, you dig what I'm saying? So my family is real big to the point where I could walk down Wall, every block I could find a family member. You dig what I'm saying? Because I have an extremely big family. I got families from the jungles. I got families from City Stones. You know, I got families from 5-1 Trouble. I got family from Outlaw 20s, NHB 20s, 30s, 30 Crip, you know, 35 Rule. All the way going down to the east side. You understand what I'm saying? Even though the Outlaws are on the east side, but, you know, from the west side going to the east side of Low Bottoms, I had a lot of family members, you see? So it was like, you know, I had family that lived in the 8 trays down on 85th. And, you know, I got around the little homies over there and older family members and, you know, eventually, you know, got the claim in the set.
That's what it do. So
yeah.
when you got to New York, you know, you started to see some dudes who, well, you know, after a time, you know, being in New York, you end up bumping into cats that was chucking C's. What did you think?
I'm going to keep it real with you. From like 89 and 90, I had 2 cousins that lived on 18th and 5th downtown in Harlem. They started the Harlem Crips 89, 90. They've been out here. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, you have family members that you probably only see them at family functions, so y'all not really, like, frequent. So I never really used to really be, like, frequent out there anyway. But, you know, the 30s is like a household Belizean set on the Crip side. Get what I'm saying? And, they kicked that off 89, 90. But they were all the way in Harlem. In Brooklyn, you know, it was years and years and, you know, years after until I seen a Crip in Brooklyn. You know, those like Monton, those like, you know, John. He was throwing, you know, he was chunking steeds with me. You know, he wasn't multiplying or nothing or key. You know, he just, you know, what's up, cuz? What's up, cuz? Like, I'm smiling like, man, what the fuck y'all know about cripping? That's the same thing I said when I seen Sight, Frenzy, and Rum fixing his car on 94th and Kings Highway. I'm walking, you know, my cousin lives on 94th and Kings Highway, so I'm over there, and I'm like, you know, leaving the building, I make the left turn to go towards Clarkson, and I see Sight, who was, you know, a dude that was also always the baby, and was wild, just like I was wild before he got into the whole Crip lifestyle. And I see him with, you know, blue rags and Dickie suits and chucks. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? They was fixing his car. So I'm like, man, what the fuck? And I said, man, what y'all know about Dickies and chucks, dog? Exclusive. And he was like, man, it's Crip. And I got to laughing like shit. Yeah, these motherfuckers always on some new shit. These niggas crazy, man. They just playing around. They probably had to see a movie or something. You feel me?
So you didn't believe him at first, huh?
No, I didn't. I thought it was like a just for the day look, you know? Cause just like how when I was Steam Team, them dudes arrived from the low lives and the Ralphie kids. So they were always stealing some shit. So I'm thinking they probably just stole a couple Dickie suits from out of Models, you know, and they just had them on with some trucks because they probably, you know, listen to Snoop Dogg or watch that, you know, today we gonna look like the Dog Pound. You feel me?
Yeah.
And, you know, little did I know, woo, I never thought it would be what it is today, man. You know, because they went on to start the 8 Deuce Trays, and it derived into the G-Stone Crips in 96. So I was like, okay.
So
I didn't believe.
So how did that all come about? I heard you say 8 Deuce Tray, then you said GSC. So you saying Psych and them started 8 Deuce Tray. Who started GSC, and how did all this come about? We know you started the trays.
See, 8 Deuce Tray derived, I would say, like 95, right? And it was just about 8 dudes, 3 females, you know? 2 or 3 females or whatever. You know, LaShandra, LSD, it was you know, it was Steph. I don't know what her name was called, but and it was also another female. I'm not sure. I think it was might have been Berto's sister, Shantae, but I'm not sure. But like 10 motherfuckers the most. You feel me? And they got to multiplying after a while, but I wasn't aware of this. You know, I used to always be frequent to the 90s, which is where they started, 90s Brownsville. And they came up with that name behind a house they used to stand up in front of called, 823. You know, they started saying, man, we 8 Deuce Tray Crips. And I'm like, alright, that's what's up, y'all 8 Deuce Tray Crips. Cause me being from Matrix Gangstas, you know, I ain't never seen nobody throw a deuce in the middle, but that's what they was claiming it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And then they got the multiplying, having meetings, multiplying. I'm like, hold up. These motherfuckers are serious. That 1 week led to a month, 2 months, 3 months. Next thing you know, I see these motherfuckers in parties, you know, they got blue rags. So that's one of the reasons why I say, you know what? I'm gonna boot the set off. You know? I had one of my little homeboys that used to be from around the way named Squares came up to me like, cuz, I'm trying to get this quipping. I'm trying to, push our own line. And I'm like, alright, man, Killer Gang. You can be Killer Gang, man. You gonna be Killer Gangsters, man. And they started pushing the Killer Gang situation. You know, I used to be frequenting all around everywhere. Probably had about 2 meetings with them dudes, but then, you know, I'm chasing money. I'm all over the place. I'm in Rochester, I'm in Baltimore, I'm here, I'm there, going to Albany. I'm chasing this check, and next thing I come back, the whole damn near Church Ave in the 40s is claiming the set. Because it started on 48 between Church and Linden and 135 Park. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just like you had the original 8 Deuce Tray members like Face, you know, Ronnie Reese, K-Tone, rest in peace, you know, Rumsky, Nut, Ronnie, Reese, Prince, Bon Son, you know, and Shaq, you know, 16, like, I you know, give a few, I probably forgot a few, but, you know, they all acknowledge at the same time. They know who they are. We had our originals, you know, we had, like, you know, it was Little Squinch, it was Squinch, who became Big Squinch or whatever, Squinch, Furbs, Davo, Wreck, you know, Stitch. You had a gang of homies, and you had the homegirls.
Sham.
Man, we had our own little, you know, situation. You know, Shantae, Sue Blue. You know, we had our own little situation going. And at the same time, you had the UGs and the KC1s, you know,
TV6
they had
exclusive.
their little thing, you know, they was pushing their little movement, you know, to where Cooley and Chino, they both had, you know, I think Chino had the UGs, and Tip had the KC1s, you know, the King Crip ones, still had the King there, and the untouchable Gangsta Crips, you know, who basically when Chino fell back and Tip fell back, he was branding them pushing the KC1s, and Wink stepped up and grabbed UG, you know, underground Crip now, but before he was on Moving Time, you know, untouchable Gangsta Crip, he's pushing Moving. You know, but I guess as time went on, he had to change the heart. He changed the whole situation, you know. Well, that's the type of guy. He's one of them guys, you know. But yeah, that's how that went on. And basically, you know, the G Stones in '96, when Bob Burger came home, they just converted their name to, you know, we're gonna be A through Straight. We're gonna be G Stone Crips. You know, and there's a lot of stories on how that came about, but I'm gonna pass on that. I'm gonna leave that alone. You know, I'm gonna leave that for them to explain. You know,
keep it trade time. Keep it trade time.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it for Big Psych and them. You know, Big Psych Bike and them to explain that in face and you know all the originals. You know what I mean? My guys, man, but that's their story. I'm gonna let them tell it. You feel me? I'm just going from what I see.
TV6 exclusive.
Yeah, man. As far as the 8 man, we got to multiplying till we leaked into the 50s. Shaggy got put on. Shaggy had a stronghold on the 50s, so the 50s converted. You know, I pushed over there to Vanderbilt with my family and I've been living around since the 70s, you know what I'm saying? A whole VIP territory. And I basically flipped that too. You know what I'm saying? The only motherfucker you seeing over there, and that's another Crip that I knew, that was a Crip before everybody got the, you know, multiplying and kicking off sets on individual status was A Smoke from 5-5 Neighborhood. You know?
Definitely.
The CIP, we lost him too. You know?
Yeah, I remember, I think, there was a gentleman you mentioned before that said some false information.
Oh, that's the kid. That's the guy, what's his name again, man? Man, it's hard to remember this kid because he really wasn't doing. What's this dude's name? Romeo Bakers. Yeah, he did a little interview. You know, my cousin came from Cali. He tried to say he was 5'5". My cousin from Digger Park, cause he's from 30s. You understand me? And you know, and Ace but he was talking about smashing hoods. And man, that guy was lying. You know? But I mean, that's his story. He gonna tell it, but I'm gonna tell the facts. And my facts ain't biased. Cause I could've came on here and said I started all the Crips in New York. Nah. You dig what I'm saying? It's not gonna be one of them parties. You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna give just due to everybody that deserves it. And when I see that somebody has lied, I'm gonna expose it. You know, he was kind of extra in that interview or whatever. You know, I never pulled out a gun on him. That's a lie. You know, so he just made up a whole movie that doesn't exist. You know, that has no cast, and he's definitely not one of them. You understand what I'm saying?
TV6
Because everybody in the
exclusive.
street know me, man. If it was that kind of party, it would have been a party. You dig what I'm saying?
Factual.
And there's no man that can say I pulled out a gun on him, man. You know, and you know. Yeah. It's crazy, but
at the end of the day, it's all it's understood. It's understood. We ain't even gonna continue that one. But it's understood.
These guys are their own biggest fans. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Their own biggest fans.
You could say self-proclaimed gangsters.
Self-proclaimed, yeah. Like everybody running around, I'm OG this, OG that. Man, I don't even consider myself an OG, and I'm an original.
You understand? So then we gonna get into the GDs versus the A-Trade beef, and my take on how everything turned out, because it ain't turned out good for the trades and Vanderveer and my view.
Then called Ramsey in London, where he was visiting his wife, to report the deed was done. Mashout told Johnson that the victim had broken his heart by helping the feds before he carried out the murder, Hines said. Paget, who is currently in federal prison, has not been charged with the murder, but Hines noted that Paget announced that his own sentencing on December 30th, 2008 for a weapons conviction that he had confirmed from court papers that Johnson had ratted him out.
You see that a lot of people, right, who how can I say it? Who be talking about the GD versus Crip beef, or the Woo the Cho shit, or the GS9 versus the GDs. Niggas gotta understand this beef, right? This beef actually came from Bizzz. This beef came from Bizzz, and And a lot of niggas don't know, right? That a lot of our Caribbean spots like Jamaica, Trinity, Barbados, a lot of those spots, right? They got Crips out there. It's a lot of Crips that's West Indian. I noticed that shit. Trust me, it's a lot of Crips that's West Indian, and it's fucked up that son killed cuz across the borders and shit like that. But just to show how real Bizzz was, son stood on business. You heard son like, yo, nah, that son that killed the cuz. He wasn't one of those big homies who passed the grip off like, yo, little cuz put in work. You know how many so-called big homies, we ain't gonna say cuzos, big homies, period. They ain't even gotta be gangbanging, but just older than niggas and quick to have a young nigga do it, but not them to put in work, you heard? So right there, just to show you how son stood on business for his peoples by like on himself, like, and they said that's how he was. It wasn't like son was wicked. Son was loose, you heard. Son was getting straight to business, you heard. They also talk about a story where it was a party. It was a party in the Ville, and niggas whatever, the shit turned into what it turned into, and they said the nigga Bizzz hit the nigga out the window. Like literally sniped the nigga. And this is what he says in court. He like, yo, I ain't no sniper. Come on, y'all bugging out. But it's stories like that, right? And then son taking all of his shits to trial. You heard? You come on, you gotta respect that. You understand? Like niggas is not doing that no more. I don't care how outnumbered niggas may seem, you heard, but a lot of these gangs right there, right, that's outnumbering niggas, y'all can see them there, they fall into their own demise. You feel me? Like you ain't got no other cuzzos, no big cuzzos trying to get at this nigga Bizzz. You don't hear that when it comes to Crips, you heard? Niggas truly stick together. Now we got another, I think we got another episode of Keys to the City Keys to the Yard, where we talking about Woodside versus Astoria Crips. But other than that, we not doing that shit in New York. You don't find Crips banging on each other. Every time you see a Crip, another Crip, nigga, it's love. And it's because niggas ain't got the numbers, you heard? We gotta stick together. And as y'all see it, this started from Psych Bite, Bizzz and them niggas, because all of the big cuzzos at that time, they all had a certain respect for each other, a certain love for each other. I remember this is something that like some of the big cuzzos, right, they went down for. I don't know if y'all remember, right? But it was a jewelry store heist on Pickens Avenue. And they was like, niggas got off with a few watches, shit worth $500,000 and all that, right? Look it up. Matter of fact, it's here. You're gonna see it. And that's the case Birdo. For y'all don't know who Birdo is, we definitely gonna do a story about Birdo, aka Cross. That's another one of the big cuzzos. That's Cilio big brother. That's the big cuz for SGC. God bless the dead. You heard the cuz when the cuz died in jail. That's that situation is a little sticky. I don't think his people truly know the truth about that. But son died in jail fucking with that K, that Doozy. But that's neither here nor there. So I think we definitely gonna do a story on Birdo. But to get back to Bizzz, man, the cuz, I just seen some pictures of the cuz, and we gonna actually throw them up here, man. All I know is, man, you don't find them like the cuz no more. I don't care where you go looking and none of that. You don't find them like him no more. Point blank, period. You got a few niggas, right? You got a few official old niggas that's doing time behind them walls, right? And they plotting on their own peoples. They finding out how to take out each other. You heard? That shit ain't gangster. Ain't nothing gangster about that. Killing up each other, there ain't nothing gangster about that, nigga. You kill your enemies. You lock in. You get them. Simple as that. But y'all already know the vibes. That's the first episode of New York Steppas, man. And we stepping with my boy Bizzz from out of Flatbush, Crooklyn, A-Trade, Gangsta, Killer Gang. Y'all know the vibes.